Starting us off at number 10 is James Franco. He was once one of the biggest actors in Hollywood, but then he landed himself on Hollywood's blacklist. His career had rocky moments on more than one occasion, but things really went down south for him in 2018. A huge controversy sparked after he wore a Time's Up pin to the Golden Globe Awards and accepted his award for the Best Lead Actor in a Comedy. The Time's Up pin symbolizes the movement led by hundreds of Hollywood women in hopes to support those who need legal help in addressing issues of sexual harassment and assault. If it was someone else wearing the pin, they probably would have been applauded, but women immediately went online and called him out for his own abusive behavior with different allegations of abuse and sexual. Even celebrities came forward with claims, as well as students from his LA acting school who actually ended up suing him. He battled the lawsuit for years until it came to an end in 2020, but his career just has never bounced back since then. And I don't think it will. Moving on to number 9, we have Dani Mathers. You would know her for starring on TV series like Badass and The Bold and the Beautiful, but she's mainly known for her work as a Playboy model. Both sides to her career came to an end in 2016 after she posted an image on Snapchat body shaming another woman. She thought it would be humorous to post an image of a nude 70-year-old woman who was changing at the gym. She captioned it, "If I can't unsee this, then you can't either." The image immediately got backlash and it resulted in her facing criminal charges. She was fired from her radio show and banned from LA fitness gyms across the US. People were outraged that she would body shame someone, especially to an audience as big as hers. Not to mention, posting a nude photo of someone online without their consent or knowledge is illegal. Later in 2017, she faced the court and pleaded no contest to a charge of invading this woman's privacy. She was fined $1,000 and ordered to spend a month of doing community service and removing graffiti all around Los Angeles. What the hell were you thinking? Sliding in number 8 is Carole Baskin. Associating yourself with her would be tricky because she has been accused of killing her ex-husband, Don Lewis. Ever since her story got known in the Netflix documentary Tiger King, people have convinced themselves that she took the life of her ex-husband, who just mysteriously went missing back in 1997. They were married for 6 years until he randomly went missing without any explanation and was never found again. Different rumors have gone around about Carole knowing where he is and that she apparently fed him to their pet tigers. Like literally. Countless amounts of memes and GIFs have been made about this case, even a TikTok song about how she fed him to the tigers. I know it off by heart. I know it off by heart, but I should not sing it. Carole Baskin killed her husband, whacked him. All of these memes, GIFs, and songs have gone viral. But recently, Don's former lawyer has come forward claiming that he heard Don was strangled with an electric cord from the backseat of an airplane with someone else flying it and then was dumped in the Gulf of Mexico. And that's why he was never found. Apparently, he was lured up in the air to do a great deal on an airplane, but then he got murdered. A lot of people are not believing this claim, but we're gonna have to wait and see what happens. In spot number 7, we have James Charles. There have been multiple occasions where he has faced a backlash after being accused of grooming. The scandals seemed to fade out as he took responsibility for his actions and apologized, but then he landed himself in the exact same situation once again. He recently got caught talking to other men whose Instagram accounts show their real age despite what he says they initially told him. He posted another apology video on YouTube where he took responsibility once again and said that he was working on himself to do better. But that was not enough this time. Morphe announced that they were dropping him from their long-term partnership after these allegations came to surface. James went online to say that it was actually a mutual agreement. On top of that though, YouTube demonetized his channel so that he's unable to make money from past, current, or future videos. This included his YouTube show called Instant Influencer. He was actually dropped from season 2. Although companies are worrisome to work with him, a lot of people are still holding hope that he is not canceled just yet. Moving on to number 6, we have Perez Hilton. A lot of celebrities want to avoid him because he is the biggest celebrity blogger in the industry and often reports on all of their scandals. And who would like that? After all, that is his job though, kind of like the same way it's mine, and I'm doing that a little bit right now. But his approach to things have gotten him in trouble on a number of occasions, and one time things went a little too far. He was recently banned from the TikTok app after he repeatedly violated the app's rules. He tried to appeal the claims and even pleaded through a YouTube video where he cried on camera and said TikTok was a big part of his mental health and his livelihood. A TikTok spokeswoman confirmed that he was banned for violating their policies on more than one occasion, even after he got warned. Prez admits that some of his content has been flagged before for violating TikTok's rules against nudity and harassment, and also admitted that he has been accused of bullying. A lot of his content is dishing out that celebrity news, but sometimes he can just come across really harsh, especially when it comes to these young teen TikTok stars, so people just don't find that appropriate. They feel that he's like bullying teens, which he kind of is. He said some pretty shady stuff. Halfway through list number 5, we have Gabby Hanna. The YouTuber has made headlines for drama on numerous occasions, and recently she is facing a ton of backlash for some of her behavior. The drama started 1 week ago when she began tweeting about her struggles with ADHD during the writing process of her 2020 book, Dandelion. She then began to address criticisms of another book that came out 3.5 years ago. She's clearly not over it. People criticized certain parts of her book and Gabby attacked them online for their negative reviews. People then started attacking her for saying that when you create art and put it out into the world, people are going to critique it and they have a right to do that. They're not wrong for it. It caused a huge debate online with other influencers getting involved, so it got messy. On top of that, a lot of her online behavior just does not get good reviews either. She recently tweeted a photo of herself in underwear and wrote, "Good morning. Daily reminder that I could both your parents and the one person on earth that you love, but choose not to." Classy, Gabby. That is very classy of you. Rolling into the number 4 spot is Azealia Banks. I honestly didn't know this side to her, but allegedly she is known for starting fires on the internet, abrasive and offensive tweets to be exact. And even though it has landed her in the middle of controversy many times, it was still never enough to make her stop. People have said that she doesn't just talk the talk though, and that she's also very abrasive in public as well, not just behind a computer screen. News reports have shared stories of her being kicked out of parties, bars, and airplanes for getting aggressive. In 2015, she became the target of a criminal investigation after accusations came forward saying that she beat up a security guard outside of a club because he kicked her out. Apparently, she tried pulling the fire alarm, so they tried to kick her out, and then she and her friends began to jump one security guard. Video footage surfaced which showed her pounding her fists on him. The video also showed her tampering with the fire alarm, so she was caught red-handed. So it's really not all that surprising that people in Hollywood want to avoid someone like that with that behavior and like issues with the law. Taking over our 3rd spot is Jeffree Star. For many years, he was the biggest beauty YouTuber in the world with both a successful YouTube channel and a makeup brand, Jeffree Star Cosmetics. While some people can applaud him for his success, other people can't stand him and they are now calling him irrelevant. He has had a lot of drama throughout his career, landing himself in scandals on more than one occasion. Honestly, a lot. Whether or not they were his fault or not, that is still up for debate, but trouble just seems to follow him. Articles started surfacing near the end of 2020 saying that he is struggling to stay relevant. They claim that his YouTube videos take over a week to reach 1 million views, whereas they used to hit millions of views within a day. They also pointed out that he used to pick fun at beauty brands that were sold in TJ Maxx, but customers have spotted some of his makeup collections being sold there now as well. In more recent days, this past week actually, fans started pointing out that they saw his social media posts showing up on his page as ads, meaning that his reach is not as impactful as it was before, and he is literally just putting his stuff out there as ads to get more attention. In our number 2 spot is Gilbert Gottfried. One of the most popular comedians in the industry at one time lost everything after sending out some tweets. Imagine losing your career because of like a tweet. The tricky thing about comedy is that not everyone has the same sense of humor as you do, and what you find funny can actually be very racist or insensitive. Back in 2011, he sent out some tweets referring to the crisis going on in Japan, and no one thought it was funny. No one. The crisis, referring to the tsunami tragedy that killed thousands of people and destroyed an unbelievable amount of homes, businesses, and lives. He took the time to send out 12 different tweets joking about the tsunami. I can't obviously name them all, but one of them read, "Japan is really advanced. They don't go to the beach comes to them." Fans and celebrities began tweeting at him in disgust, saying how his comments were insensitive and disgusting. He ended up getting fired from multiple jobs and dropped from different upcoming projects. Earning our number 1 spot is Austin McBroom. He is better known as the dad in the Ace family, a family who actually became famous on YouTube for sharing their life throughout different videos and vlogs. But throughout the years, Austin has been canceled on numerous occasions for his behavior. In 2020, he was facing some serious heat after spanking his daughter playfully in a video while making some weird, inappropriate comments, like a sound in a TikTok or something. It was so weird. She even moves his hand away from her, showing that she was very uncomfortable. That's just one example of a time that he was canceled. Honestly, there's way too many to name. Some of his content is just very problematic, despite making most of it with his wife and 2 children. Although their family channel has always been very family-oriented content and safe for kids to watch, Austin has been getting involved with drama these days and makes headlines now for very negative reasons. He's actually signed up to fight Bryce Hall in the upcoming fight YouTubers versus TikTokers. A lot of people say that he should just be focusing on like his family rather than fighting TikTokers who are 7 years younger than him. In our number 10 spot is Kevin Spacey. One of the biggest actors in Hollywood had his career flipped upside down 4 years ago when several allegations of sexual misconduct were filed against him. Since 2017, he has been dropped by his talent agency and publicist, fired from his show House of Cards, and replaced in projects he was working on at that time. The allegations came from another actor, Anthony Rapp, when he first accused him of making sexual advantages towards him when he was younger. The lawsuits did not hold up in court, which a lot of people did not agree with. The majority of people saying that he should not be walking free right now. Though he is not behind bars though, his career has never fully recovered since then. Reports are now saying that he is stuck in Hollywood purgatory, with a lot of directors not wanting to work with him after these allegations. Rumor has it though that he is residing with his manager Evan Lowenstein, and he is hoping to get more work in the future, but Hollywood's blacklist might not allow it, and I personally am hoping that it does not. Moving on to number 9, we have Stacey Dash. Politics are a controversial topic no matter what, but for celebrities, things can be very difficult when voicing your opinion, especially when it does not match the majority. The former Clueless star and Fox News commentator was blacklisted from Hollywood after making comments a few years ago that offended a lot of people. In 2018, she was in support of Trump and made comments online that she was in support of him building a wall between the border. A lot of her comments came across very racist and offensive to others, and she lost everything in her career. But just a few months ago, in March 2021, she changed her perspective and apologized for her past behavior and remarks. During her interview, she said she no longer supports Donald Trump's actions and views, even from the past, and apologized for the past. She said she has changed as a person and is no longer the angry conservative that she was when she was on Fox News. Unfortunately, the damage just might be too much to repair at this point, but some people might be forgiving. Such a touchy subject. I really don't know how that's gonna go for her. Coming into spot number 8, we have Tristan Thompson. Let's be honest, no one likes the cheater. And although he has a successful basketball career, his cheating scandals are the only thing people talk about when it comes to him. People were shocked when they first found out that he had cheated on Khloe Kardashian just days before she gave birth to their daughter. She ended up forgiving him, and they continued to work on their relationship. But since then, different cheating allegations have come forward accusing him of cheating with different girls. Headlines refer to him now as the notorious cheater, so he has a new reputation for himself other than scoring baskets. The most recent claims come from model Sydney Chase, who said she hooked up with him earlier this year while he was obviously still with Khloe. Where Tristan and Khloe stand right now is still very unknown because they haven't talked about it, but it is not a good look for Tristan. Not all press is good press. I don't care what anyone says. Like, when you're making headlines for cheating and no longer your basketball career, that's a problem. Coming in next at number 7, we have Chris Brown. He was once one of the biggest R&B artists in Hollywood, but then everyone's perspective changed about him after he admitted to physically his ex-girlfriend Rihanna. It's hard to forget about the chaos that happened back in 2009 when photos of her face surfaced showing a bruised face and busted lip. Turns out she got into an argument with Chris in the car and things got physical between them. He did an interview after the altercation and fully admitted to punching her in the face that night, admitting that he felt like a monster after it happened. He ended up getting arrested and Rihanna actually testified against him in court. Although some people have forgotten about this incident for some reason, and even Rihanna says she's moved on from it, his career has never been the same since. As it should not be. Halfway through our list, number 5 is Belle Delphine. A lot of people are torn on whether or not they want to work with her, and it really just depends on what kind of career and reputation you have yourself. She is one of the biggest YouTubers in the world, but her account has been deactivated in the past for breaking their policies on inappropriate and sexual content. Over the years, her content started to get very sexual, and she is currently one of the highest earners on OnlyFans. She even started doing adult videos and announced that she would be selling the contraception, if you know what I mean, that was used in her first video. Because of her career path now, some brands are unable to work with her simply for the sake of their own reputation. But there are still other brands who are willing to work with her, like if their vibe matches her. You know what I'm saying? Sliding into spot number 4, we have Justine Paradise. Now this one is a little messed up and it has caused a huge debate online whether or not she is in the wrong. A few weeks ago, a TikTok star uploaded a YouTube video where she went into details about accusations of sexual against Jake Paul. After the allegations went viral, Jake's lawyer said they were going to pursue legal actions to sue her for defamation, claiming that the accusations are false and just an attempt for attention. In recent days, she made a follow-up YouTube video where she talked about the level of hate she has been receiving online ever since her video. She said she's getting tons of threats online, and not only from random people, but from other celebrities in LA telling her to watch her back. She's not taken any legal action against Jake Paul, and apparently his team hasn't either yet, but the hate she's receiving online has cost her a lot of work and brand deals. But the big debate is, what if she is telling the truth? In our third spot is Monique. The comedian and actress was on top of the world back in 2009 when she was receiving tons of critical praise for her role in the movie Precious. She'd actually won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for her role, which is a dream for any performer. But after winning an Oscar, everything went downhill from there, and it ended with her being completely blacklisted from people in Hollywood. It all started after she didn't want to campaign for her movie without receiving any additional pay, and that caused a lot of people to turn against her. But things got even worse in 2018 when she started asking people to boycott Netflix after claiming that they lowballed her pay because of her gender and race. She claimed they offered her $500,000 for her own comedy special, but pointed out that Amy Schumer and other male comedians like Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle received millions for theirs. Because she kept demanding money for projects, even if she had valid points, she was blacklisted by people in Hollywood. I mean, she does make valid points, like, I mean, I'd be so happy with $500,000. Taking over our number 2 spot is Isaiah Washington, another very successful actor who lost everything during the height of his career. In 2007, he landed himself on Hollywood's blacklist after making some homophobic comments at the Golden Globe Awards. The worst part was his career was already on very thin ice because of a similar incident that happened 1 year before. A year before the Golden Globes, he faced a ton of backlash after insulting his co-star TR Knight with homophobic language. The two of them worked together on Grey's Anatomy, and the show decided to give him a second chance after that first incident. But the Golden Globes was just too far for them, I guess, and they fired him immediately from the show. After his career fell apart, he did an interview and explained how he lost everything. He said, "After the incident at the Golden Globes, everything just fell apart. I lost everything. I couldn't afford to have an agent. I couldn't afford to have a publicist. I couldn't afford to continue." Since then, he has popped up in some projects here and there, but his career has never fully recovered. Moving on to our number one spot, we have Ellen DeGeneres. For years, she has been known as America's sweetheart, but in 2020, a huge controversy sparked after allegations came out against her for a toxic and inappropriate workplace. Some of the claims were so serious that a federal investigation was done within her workplace and all staff members. People weren't sure if she would actually make a return for season 18, but when she did, she addressed the claims and apologized for any of her actions hurting other people. But people have had mixed emotions about it, some people believing the claims and some people not. But recently, she announced that next year, season 19, will be her last season and her show is officially coming to an end. Many people think the show is ending because of these allegations, but in a new interview with Oprah, she revealed that the allegations were orchestrated. She said the attacks were misogynistic, orchestrated, and coordinated, but stands firm on the fact that she is ending her show because it is no longer a creative challenge for her anymore. Starting us off at number 10, we have Chrissy Teigen. She's not usually one to make headlines for big scandals, but in recent weeks, she is all the media outlets can talk about and nothing good. She is currently being canceled after some of her old tweets resurfaced and showed her bullying other people and making disrespectful and very inappropriate remarks. The scandal first started after Courtney Stodden did an interview with Daily Beast revealing that Chrissy sent her tweets and even DMs where she wished that she would pass away. Screenshots of the convos and tweets were leaked online, and after that, more and more tweets resurfaced, like when she made fun of Lindsay Lohan, telling her to cut her wrists. Macy's announced that they would be pulling her cookware line from their stores, and Bloomingdale's revealed they pulled out of a contract that they were going to sign with her. Since then, she's been very quiet on social media. In fact, she's pretty much just removed herself. Moving on to number 9, we have Tom Cruise. While a lot of people would dream of working in a movie with the legendary actor, some people are more hesitant because of his erratic rants. On a few occasions, he has been caught on camera having aggressive outbursts on crew members on movie sets. The most recent one was in December of 2020 when he was filming Mission Impossible 7. Audio footage was leaked online showing him yelling at crew members for allegedly breaking COVID-19 set safety protocols. While some people understood the concerns of following the protocols, majority of people said the way he handled it was just not very professional and very unnecessary. But he has no remorse for his actions. In recent weeks, he was asked about the rant and he said, "There was a lot at stake at that point. I said what I said." The rant happened in front of 50 crew members after he saw 2 of them standing too close to one another in front of a computer screen. In the rant, he actually threatened to have them fired if they stood close together again. Making her way into number 8 is Kylie Jenner. I think it's safe to say a lot of people will avoid the Jenner and Kardashian sisters simply because they are always targeted in the media. One way or another, they find themselves at the center of controversies, and Kylie is the current target. A model named Victoria Vanna came forward and claimed that Kylie had bullied her on the set of a Tyga music video. She claims that she was hired to dance in Tyga's music video for Ice Cream Man when Kylie was dating him at the time. She said that Kylie, one of her friends, and her assistant were at the shoot and they were making fun of her. Victoria gave some very specific examples in a video and claimed that Kylie and her crew sat in a Rolls Royce eating McDonald's and mocking her dance moves. Any celebrity who gets accused of bullying always takes some heat for it, but Kylie says that it is not true. She stuck up for herself and said that it never happened and that the model is making it up. Moving on to number 7, we have Kirk Cameron. The Growing Pains actor lost his acting career in 2016 and turned his focus to his religious beliefs and wanting to work on faith-based projects instead. But he faced a lot of criticism when he did an interview with Piers Morgan and spoke against same-sex marriage. Since then, he has always had a very controversial career as people did not agree or support his political and religious views. But in more recent months, he also took heat for organizing big events during the COVID pandemic where everyone everyone was maskless and very close together. One of the events was actually a protest that he organized where dozens of people gathered together to sing Christmas carols, maskless, to protest against the COVID protocols. The mall that they actually sang in front of posted a statement on Twitter that they do not condone his actions and that they notified the sheriff department. Because of his actions, he hasn't been able to return to that Hollywood limelight, but honestly, it doesn't seem like he even wants to. So, it works out for everyone, I guess. Cruising into number 6, we have Mel Gibson. People are still surprised to see that he has a career, so much so that a headline in 2020 read, "How does Mel Gibson still have a career?" I'm wondering the same thing, to be honest. He was shut out of Hollywood for some time after getting arrested for a DUI in 2006 and then going off on a crazy rant which was caught on camera. Then again in 2010, leaked tapes showed him screaming racist remarks and threatening his then girlfriend at the time. After the tapes were leaked, she alleged that he was also physically abused towards her, and people believed her because the leaked tapes showed just how mentally he was. The comments he made were insane. But somehow his career continued on even though he continued to make offensive remarks, like when he made homophobic comments. Most of the comments are honestly too bad to even refer to on here, but he's somehow been able to make his way back into that Hollywood limelight, which has caused a huge controversy. But even though his career has continued, there are people and companies who refuse to work with him after everything that has happened. Halfway through our list, at number 5 is Mr. Beast. Many people want to work with him just for the fact that he is one of the biggest YouTubers in the world, but because of some recent claims, they might change their mind. In recent weeks, some of his past employees have come forward claiming that he created a very hostile work environment and had very unreasonable demands. 11 different employees have come forward describing a difficult work environment and claimed that his demeanor changed when the cameras weren't rolling. The claims varied from difficult demands all the way to one person claiming that he was bullied by the YouTuber. In a since deleted tweet, one of his past editors, Matt Turner, tweeted that he was yelled at, bullied, and called derogatory names about being mentally ill, and told that he was replaceable by Mr. Beast on a daily basis. Mr. Beast has not confirmed nor denied these claims, and he is taking some heat for these allegations right now. I feel like we're still waiting for him to speak out on it, but it's not looking too good. Rolling into spot number 4, we have Roseanne Barr. The actress and comedian had her career in full throttle just a few years ago, but lost everything because of a tweet she sent out. Everything went down in May of 2018 when she decided to send out tweets that were racist and offensive to many people. Her tweets were actually about Valerie Jarrett, a senior advisor to the former president Barack Obama. In her tweet, she made jokes comparing her to a cross between Muslim Brotherhood and the movie Planet of the Apes. As you can imagine, this was not only offensive to Valerie, but an entire race. She immediately started facing a ton of backlash, and her ABC show, which was supposed to reboot that same day, was immediately canceled. Her entire career went down the drain within days, and she was dropped by everything. She has not worked since then, but in 2019, she did an interview and said she was planning on this big comeback. However, it's 2021 and we are still waiting for this epic comeback. Taking over our third spot is Logan Paul. He was once the most popular YouTuber in the world until he lost everything back in 2017 when he caused one of the biggest YouTube scandals, like in history of YouTube. He vlogged his trip to the famous Japanese suicide forest, and throughout the video, he and his friends actually came across a dead body of a victim who took his own life, and they showed it on camera. Not only that, but their reactions to it were very insensitive. They were laughing, and Logan even made a comment about how it would make YouTube history. He ended up getting dropped by the Google Ads program, and other brands and companies refused to work with him. All of the contracts he lost were worth millions of dollars. He ended up leaving YouTube for a long time, and in December of 2020, he was sued for $3.5 million because of it. There's no update on the lawsuit as of right now. Nothing has been shared yet, but I think he's gonna have to pay up. Rolling into the number 2 spot is Lea Michele. After winning the hearts of millions for her role on Glee, people didn't think her career would ever get canceled because she seemed like America's sweetheart. But 2020 exposed a lot about her, and she was exposed by some of her former co-stars who claimed that she made their filming experience a living hell. It all started after Samantha Ware claimed that Lea threatened to go to the bathroom in her wig if she had the opportunity. After this tweet went viral, her other co-star Keith Power chimed in and said, "I co-sign on this. Lea Michele is a terrible human and has said terrible things to many different types of people, including racist aggressions to and about people." Lea didn't admit to any of these specific claims, but did apologize for her behavior on set and said she has done a lot of reflecting since then to become a better person. But people do not take these claims lightly, and she remained pretty quiet ever since they've come to surface. Earning our number 1 spot is Armie Hammer. 2020 was a horrible year for the actor after serious and disturbing claims came forward about him. Some of his former girlfriends have come forward with claims that he was into disturbing BDSM fantasies and that he would oftentimes take things too far, even claiming that he was a cannibal and wanted to eat their flesh and barbecue their bones. His one ex, Paige Lorenz, claimed he would tie her up, use a paddle and leave her with bruises, bite her to a point of breaking the skin, and even carved his initials into her body during a kinky game. She described it as 50 Shades of Grey, but without the love. Ever since then, other girls have come forward with disturbing claims similar to hers, and he is now facing some serious charges and is under investigation. He lost all of his current projects, including Billion Dollar Spy, and it was recently announced that he was replaced in the Godfather series, The Offer. He was replaced with actor Miles Teller. Kicking off our countdown at number 10 is Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. They are both on this list together because there is still a lot of controversy surrounding their lawsuit and no final decision has been made about their case. Ever since their divorce and their lawsuit against abuse allegations, brands and companies have been worried about staying connected to these actors, with their reputation being hurt depending on the lawsuit outcome. The lawsuit has been going on for years now after Amber made claims that Johnny was physically abusive towards her. But Johnny recently shocked people when police body cam footage was released showing that Amber's claims were not true. In 2016, she made a police report claiming that Johnny tore apart their apartment with broken glass shattered everywhere and wine all over the walls. But the body cam footage shows them in her apartment that night, which looks totally undamaged and in good shape, with fresh flowers on the table and her friends just casually hanging out on the couch. 2 of the police officers that actually went there that night reported that they did not see any evidence of duress, crime, or any domestic violence injuries. So we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens with this one. Cruising into number 8, we have Farrah Abraham. Many will call her the queen of controversy, even if she is not trying to be. Ever since her time on Teen Mom OG, she's always sparked controversy surrounding her behavior and parenting choices, like starring on the show Teen Mom while launching an entire sex toy collection. But even off the screen, reports have said that she causes a lot of drama in the entertainment industry. In 2016, reports said that she was thrown out from a party that was being thrown by Lisa Vanderpump. Apparently, Farrah knew that her invitation had been revoked, but decided to crash it anyways. And it was not long until security, of course, escorted her out. Sources talked to the media and said most celebrities would be embarrassed, but Farrah kept posing and smiling for the cameras. To me, that just seems like she wants that attention and like publicity, or that she just does not care. Like she genuinely doesn't care. In spot number 7, we have Dr. Phil. While some people want to get on his show to seek advice and treatment opportunities, others want to avoid it at all costs, especially after some of the claims that came out recently from someone who appeared on his show and went through the treatment that he provided for them. Bad Baby recently posted a YouTube video where she spoke out about the abuse that she experienced at the Turnabout Ranch that Dr. Phil sent her to. If you don't know her story, she first appeared on the Dr. Phil show back in 2016 at just 13 years old because she had behavioral issues at home and her mom brought her on the show. She recently revealed disturbing details details about the treatment that she and other troubled teens went through during this program. In her video, she publicly called out Dr. Phil and demanded that he apologizes and said that he needs to stop sending teens there. The worst part is she was not the only person to speak out about this. Another young woman named Hannah also spoke out recently about that same ranch, claiming the same things that Bad Baby did. Cruising into the number 6 spot is J.K. Rowling. The Harry Potter author isn't one to cause drama, but she started some of the biggest controversy in 2020 after making comments that were very transphobic. She wrote an entire blog about her feelings on sex and gender, and a lot of people were offended by some of her remarks. On top of the blog, she also tweeted out her feelings too, which made everything just spread like wildfire. What made things even worse though was that she had recently promoted a store that sells anti-trans merchandise. Some of their items saying, "Trans women are men and woman is not a costume." The website is called Wild Women Workshop and is run by a founding member of an activist group called Get the L Out. So, J.K. Rowling promoting this website on her social media, on top of her remarks, people saw it as very unacceptable and disrespectful. Even Harry Potter himself, actor Daniel Radcliffe, made a public statement that he did not stand behind her or her remarks. Yeah, if I was him, I'd be making that very clear. No ma'am. Halfway through at number 5, we have Lily Singh. The YouTuber and comedian was once loved by many people for being relatable and funny, but now people are canceling her. Over the last couple of years, people began calling her out for posting offensive comedy sketches and culturally appropriating Black culture. Her first video to ever go viral was Official Guide to Brown Girls. And while a lot of people found her funny and relatable, others found her content offensive. But her career continued on despite the fact, and she was the first Indian woman to have her own late night talk show, A Little Late with Lily Singh. But just a few weeks ago, NBC announced that her talk show is now getting canceled and will not be returning for a season 3. The reason behind that is that her ratings dropped 25% from season 1 to season 2. Because of low ratings and causing controversy with her content, people might not want to work with her in the future. Coming in number 4, we have Bryce Hall. The TikTok star has had too many scandals in his career for me to name all of them, but one of the biggest ones was a physical altercation. In late 2020, he was facing the heat after he posted a video of him and his friends physically attacking an unknown man outside of a restaurant. He tweeted the video and said, "We don't condone violence, but if you punch someone in front of us, we'll have no choice but to defend ourselves." But Bryce's security guard was in the video with them, and everyone was quick to say that the altercation could have totally been avoided and that posting the video was showing that you did in fact condone violence. And just a few weeks after that video, another video leaked online and showed Bryce attacking a server at a restaurant in LA. Apparently in LA, it is illegal to vape inside restaurants, and when the server told him to stop, things just got heated and progressed. Customers and employees had to break up the fight, and witnesses say that Bryce threw the first punch and that he was the one who jumped the employee. In our third spot is Lindsay Lohan. At one point in time, she was a celebrity that everyone wanted to be around. But then her career started to take a turn for the worse, and she landed herself in some trouble with the law. She's been arrested for DUIs, charged with drug use and possession, and was even arrested for violating her probation from some of those previous charges. In 2010, she was sentenced to 90 days in jail for failing to attend her court-ordered weekly alcohol education classes. Years down the road, she still faced other charges after causing altercations in bars. In 2012, she allegedly punched a woman in the face outside of Club Avenue in Manhattan. She has a whole list of allegations and charges, so people just tend to stay away from her so that it won't affect their personal careers. Although, let's be honest, it does seem like she has cleaned up her act in recent years and she has gotten her life more back on track. So here is hoping, because I miss Lindsay. Sniping the number 2 spot is Shane Dawson. For over a decade, people would have killed to be a guest in his YouTube videos, but now a lot of people would avoid it at all costs. He was one of the first big YouTube creators, but some of his actions have cost him all of his channels that he just spent all those years working on. In 2020, YouTube demonetized all of his channels, which was basically his entire career and income. He also made a name for himself in the beauty world, but because of some of his actions, beauty brands will not associate themselves with him. One thing in particular that had brands dropping him left and right was when old video footage showed him making inappropriate sexual gestures to a picture of Willow Smith on a poster, and she was just 11 years old in that poster. Celebrities began calling him out online, including the Smith family, and he has not returned to YouTube or makeup ever since. And we're not sure if he will. Rumor has it he might. Good luck with that, if you do. Earning the #1 spot is David Dobrik. The famous YouTuber and the leader of the Vlog Squad is losing everything right now after serious misconduct allegations were filed against him. After these allegations came to surface, he was dropped by the majority of his sponsors and partnerships like HelloFresh, DoorDash, Spark Capital, and many more. On top of these allegations, a lot of his old footage is resurfacing, showing his prank videos being wildly inappropriate and just taking things too far. Former Vlog Squad members have come forward with claims that David was very abusive, inappropriate, and used his power to control people and also take advantage of them. His YouTube channels were also demonetized, and now he's even choosing to step down from certain projects, figuring that they're just gonna drop him anyways. He has also been accused of causing mental and physical injuries to some of his squad members, including one of his good friends, Jeff Wittick. Jeff was involved in a horrific accident where he broke his face, like literally, during one of the stunts that David was handling. Jeff actually made a YouTube series recently to document what happened during that time and behind the scenes, and people are not happy with how David handled that situation.